Hello my friends, today I want to talking about the best throwing knives for the beginners. So let's get started. So we all know that when you are starting to throwing knives, there is such a huge selection what you can get. So today I want to give you all the best information, especially if you are beginners, what to look into when you are starting out. So I would say there are three main categories. The first one is like the lowest budget as you can get, like $10, $15 for one knife, and it's usually like those black flies when I was testing out one time from the cold steel. Basically what is super cheap, but with those comes a lot of problems. They are usually very small and light. With that you will have big problems to throwing, especially from the medium and longer distances, because those knives rebound pretty fast and it's not so easy to throw them. I didn't took today like a super cheap ones, but if you can save a little bit more money, I would go definitely for the medium category, and that one is like the from $30 up to like a $50, $100, maybe a little bit less, for the medium price knives. There you can have companies like United Cutlery, Cold Steel. I took for the example this Sureflight from the Cold Steel. This one I think it's like $20, something like this. So when you are starting out, I would definitely get at least something like this. This can be perfect for the start, but what I don't like about this personally, since I'm a no spin thrower, I want to have more place for the index finger right here, and this one I believe it's only like a 3 millimeters thick or something like this, but it's actually pretty long. So for a good throwing knife, when you are starting out, you need at least 20 centimeters and around 200 grams, okay? The big mistake is to get something super sharp, because when you are starting out, some easy mistake can happen, like you will grab it wrong or it can rebound. This gives you too much danger that you don't need, okay? So definitely dull knives like this, it's really awesome, and you can start with the basic technique if you want, is the house spin throwing with this. It works absolutely amazing even with the cheap knives. So if you don't know how to do this, you can check out my full tutorials, but it's basically from close distance like this, conventional house spin, and military is controlled with a thumb. But if you are a complete beginner, start with a conventional. It's pretty close from the target, around 2 meters. You will aim, pull back, and let it slide. As you can see with this medium price knife, it's very easy, sticks super deep. So if you are on the budget, this is definitely good to have. The disadvantage comes from longer distances. When you want to learn like really advanced with a no spin throwing, it becomes very difficult. I will try if I can stick it. For example, 6 meters, it's already pretty difficult for this, you know. But after I will show you comparison with professional knives. So let's try. Actually, the first try, so not bad. So if you learn and have the right skills, even with this you can achieve high distances, no problem. But of course it will take you a little bit more time compared to the professional knives, because I will show you the comparison right away. It was, like I said, about 3 or 4 millimeters, but with this you have 8, and 8 millimeters feels so comfortable on the index finger. And if you are a beginner, the no spin throwing will be very easy for you. You can start very close and progressing further back. But for the conventional house spin, it's almost no difference. You can do it with super cheap knife, medium, but with a high knife, it gives you like a extra power, because it's so easy. You already feel the weight when you will get into your hand. This one is about 280 grams. So it's thicker and heavier compared to the short flight. And of course, you can't even compare it with the super cheap knife. This is like a bike, cheap bike and Ferrari, you know. So this is very, very good for any technique you want. And of course, if you want to get on the longer distances, there is like no excuse after. Of course, miss. There you go, perfect bullseye. So this gives you idea that with such a high quality knife, after it's everything so much easy. But of course, you can do it with cheap knife, medium knife, if you will practice it with it. But if you can save for the professional throwing knives, you can skip all of that big process and go right away for the top quality. Because after the learning is so much easier. Like I said, you can do any technique, but in the custom world, there are so many shapes. So you are also maybe confused like what you can get, what you can select. So I will also give you several tips. This one, what you have seen, it's called the Vengeance knife that I have on the Shop Sharp blades. And this one was specially designed, as you can see, with a crazy tip. This one can literally stick into anything with high power and big penetration. That's why I use it throwing like in the forest on the hardwood. For that, it's absolutely perfect. So Vengeance, like for no spin and half spin technique, absolutely amazing. Like number one, my favorite at the moment. And you can have like this shape. This one, it's called Speed. It's a little bit smaller compared to the Vengeance. It's not symmetrical. So you can get it also like in the Switzerland, other countries where symmetrical knives are not so our problem. So you can get this, and it's a 6 millimeters. So some people prefer 6 millimeters knife, and this one it's more like a, it really looks like a knife. So it's perfect because somebody don't like the Vengeance shape. They feel like, oh, this is like a tent peg or something like this. So even with the Speed, you can get any technique you want. No spin, half spin, perfect. We can try for fun full spin. A little bit unrotated. So about one step back. There you go, perfect stick. So like I said, with the Speed, awesome. Everything you want. So if you want like a smaller, cheaper knife in the 6 millimeters to save a few dollars, this could be also it. So really perfect. You can get also this one. It's called Penetrator. But if you are a complete beginner, I would go for something else. Even it's on my website. The Penetrator can give you a little bit problem because it's lighter to compare all of these knives. This one is only 180 grams. A little bit smaller, and from the name it has really nasty tip. So if this one rebounds, it can cause you definitely more damage. So I would keep this in mind. And if you are a spin thrower, you want to get something like a big Bowie knife, because for the spin throwing it's so much easier to have a huge and heavy knife. Alright? But like I said, I am mainly instinctive and no spin thrower, so my main focus is the, like I said, these no spin knives, like a Vengeance shape with a symmetrical. All right. So just to summarize it, everything, each thrower prefer something else. So there is nothing like the best throwing knife for the beginner, because each person has different budget, different way to approach it, knife throwing, because somebody want to learn just throwing from the setup distances with a huge knife, and other people like to throw everything, you know, like a screwdrivers, small knife, big knife. So for those, it really doesn't matter what they will be throwing. All right. So guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think is the best throwing knife for the beginner? Should you like invest several bucks and get at least like the medium price and the best one? Or you think it really doesn't matter and you should throw like with everything, with cheap knives? So let me know, I would definitely love to know your opinion, alright? And if you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link for these Vengeance throwing knives, alright? But for today, that's it. So thank you everybody for watching. Share, like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.